Hey, good afternoon. Russell Hotels going live just for a couple minutes. You guys know how I do it. Today is the daily check-in. It's gonna be 5 of 5. What does that mean? So this is the fifth day that I've done five things that have to do with AI, right? In the sales department. I forget the name of the title, but I'll let you know what it is in a minute. But yeah, that's today, right? So the fifth day and final day. I've done four up until this date. And if you haven't checked it out, go back and check out the replay if you wouldn't mind, right? You might as well, right? You're not doing anything else. So go ahead and do it. So this is the fifth and final episode of the series. Basically, it has to do with AI and the sales department. It can be hotel sales, it can be a DMO, CVB sales. I'm including everybody in this. Okay. So it's something for everyone to learn from. Okay. So just AI is not going to take your job, but it is going to basically hold you accountable, right? Because if you have all this time, if AI is helping you with a lot of your like emails and messages and some of the office work, that means that you're going to have more time to go out and meet your clients, right? So meaning it's going to hold you accountable. So now you got to be out there shaking hands and was it kissing babies, shaking hands and kissing babies, or shaking babies and kissing hands, something like that. One of those stuff. You know what I'm talking about. So anyway, this is a daily check-in. I do this Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Today's Thursday, so of course I'm gonna do a daily check-in, right? Um, so yeah, so now I also do a show called On Air with Russell of Hotels. It's a live hospitality talk show. Everyone's talking about, and just so you know, I am live on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. So if you follow me on any of those pages, or if you don't follow me, please do so. Especially the YouTube page, like and subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate it. I would appreciate it. I'm just waiting for this. Okay, so now it finally clicked in. So I go back and forth. I toggle back and forth, right? So I'm going back and forth between Instagram and everything else. So okay. So I think we're there. I think we're done. So yeah, so happy Thursday to everybody. Today is Thursday, June 18th at about 12:18 p.m. Today in LA, you may want to ask, what's the weather like? Okay, because I'm thinking about going to LA. What's the weather like? It's kind of, well, it's June gloom. Okay, June gloomish, and today's no exception. It's gloomy outside, but it probably will burn off. It normally is burned off by now. It's kind of, they call it a marine layer, because we're near the coastline. But today, normally it's burned off by 12ish, and sometimes even earlier. Like yesterday was sunny all day. I think for the most part, all week had been pretty much sunny. But today, kind of, it's kind of hanging around a little longer, I guess. But that's okay. So if you have some yard work to do, this is the perfect time to do it. Or maybe you're gonna wash your car because it's not gonna rain. It's just a little hazy, but it's cloud cover for the most part. But they call it a marine layer, is what they call it. So yeah, so it's probably in the high 60s, I would say. It's definitely not 70 degrees, but I'll be out there in a minute. I think, normally I do my lawn care on Fridays, but I think I may do a little bit today. If I don't do it all today, I'm gonna at least start and do some trimming and stuff like that, because every other week I have to do some trimming of like hedges and all kind of stuff like that. So yeah, I may do a little bit today. I probably won't do all of it, but get me outside and get a little exercise. Although I normally get my walk on, but maybe I'll do a little work. Maybe I'll do that. Anyway, the chat is open, so feel free to make comments if that's what you want to do as I go through this. I see Top Floor Pod. How are you? Thank you so much for joining Top Floor Pod. I'm not sure. Do I know Top Floor Pod? Maybe I should know. I don't know, but I appreciate you coming on, and you got questions or comments, please put them in your chat. You're on. That one's on, or they're on Instagram. But go ahead and make comments, and I would appreciate it, because that's what it's all about, right? Isn't that what it's all about? I think so. But anyway, I'll never do one of these shows. I'll never do a daily check-in, nor will I do a On Air with Russell of Hotels without showcasing or highlighting a hotel or a destination. And I've done this one before, of course. The last couple of days, I've been devoted to since last Thursday. I've been devoted to like two hotels that I'm showing, either the Avalon, which I did yesterday, or what's the one I'm showing today? The Langham Hotel in Pasadena. So that's what I'm showing today, the Langham. Okay, so but hold tight. Let me get to it. And like I said, make comments if you wish. I would appreciate it because that's what it's all about. So the Langham Hotel, Pasadena, is called the Langham Huntington, Pasadena, LA area. So Pasadena, take the 10 to the, what is it? You take the 10 to the 10 to the 110 and take the 110 north, and that'll take you right into Pasadena. In fact, the 110 ends or begins, I guess, depending on how you look at it. It either ends or begins in Pasadena. Okay. So it's like the old highway, right? I mean, you got to get to a running start to get on the freeway in certain parts of that 110. It can be kind of dangerous, right? But I guess if you're used to it, you're used to it. But anyway, I don't know why I'm going saying that. It's not dangerous. I'm just, you got to be cautious though. You do have to be cautious depending on the day that you're on the freeway. But anyway, okay. So the Langham, Pasadena, 379 guest rooms, 53,000 square feet of meeting space. Man, it's a beautiful hotel. I've been bragging about it since I went there last Friday, and I'm still bragging about it today. And that high hasn't, my high is still high. Okay. Normally, it's kind of tapered down a little bit, but no, my high for the Langham, Pasadena is still up there, right? In fact, it's still up there because I have a group that's considering that hotel, right? So it's going to be on my mind for a minute, and hopefully, my client chooses this hotel for this particular group. I hope they do, but it's up to them. But my job is to, if they ask me, what do you think about this hotel, or compared to, comparative to the other hotels that you receive proposals from, which one would you choose? If they ask me that, oh, I'm all over the Langham, okay, but they won't ask me that. But they'll ask me certain things about it, how's their arrival experience, and which is great. I mean, everything's great. I don't have anything. I can't pick anything that I did not like about the Langham. So if you've never been there, Pasadena, you consider it for groups, take a closer look. Take a closer look at the Langham, Pasadena. So, okay. So anyway, so I'm going to show, that's one of the guest rooms, and that's a standard guest room, right? So that's the couch in the standard guest room. That's the bed, of course. And I'm just going to go through these real quick because I showed them before. And this is the lobby, right? So the lobby area is not very big at all. And that opens up. If you continue to walk out, there's a sliding door that walks into the courtyard, which is very nice. And then to your left of that is where you would check in. So that's the reception desk, if you will. This is the bridge too far. No, I don't know why I said that. This is the bridge over troubled waters. No, it's not. No, it's basically a walkway to the. I remember, what did we walk to? The pool area. So you walk past the pool, and what the thing that got my attention are these photographs these pictures that are painted on the archways right there. And this hotel dates back to 1906, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm sure this was something that they originally did it back in the day, and they restored it, right? So it's very nice, very historical property, very elegant, very historical, and it's updated. I mean, it's been updated as much as you can update. You don't want to take away the character of an older building, especially if it's built in 1906. This is one of the ballrooms. This is the new pool. Okay, so there's two pools there. This is the newer pool. This area right here used to be tennis courts, but they changed it to a pool. And actually, they have some pickleball courts because everyone's in the pickleball these days. So they actually have some pickleball courts as well. I didn't get a chance to see those, but it was that yeah, I could see it in the distance, but I didn't go over there, and I didn't have my racket with me, so I couldn't go play. No, I don't play pickleball. I don't think I've ever played. Have I ever played? No, I don't think so. Is that the same photo that I just showed? Do I have two of the same photos? I sure do. Who does that? I'm sorry, I did not know that. Man, who does it? Do I need to change this thing? Let's see. Can I replace it real quick? Let's see. Can I do that? I don't know if I can do that while I'm on the fly. Can I do it on the fly? Let's see. Langham. Let's change it to this one. Can I do that? I sure can. Okay, there you go. So this is another ballroom. Okay, so I wanted to change because you can't show the same photo. So this is one of the other ballrooms. They have three different ballrooms. Of course, out of 53,000 square feet, you're gonna have a lot of meeting space, right? So that's another ballroom right there. This is the second pool, or this is the original pool, right? And this was a lot bigger than the other one. A lot more space to, for not cabanas, but lounge chairs or whatever with umbrellas. But yeah, it's a lot bigger pool. But it's you can choose whatever pool you like to choose, you can choose. I see Velvet Style Biz. That's Miss Tiffany. So if you guys don't know this, I'm about to tell you. So Miss Tiffany joins me on Monday. So Miss Tiffany is an event planner, okay, an event strategist, excuse me, event strategist, okay. So she joins me on Mondays about 9 o'clock on Monday, 9 a.m. California time. And she talks about her week, like, as far as work is concerned, maybe some travel that's involved, maybe dealing with clients, hotel people, whatever's on her mind. She comes on and we talk about that, and sometimes in great detail. So it's like maybe 30 minutes to an hour that we'll talk about different things. And there's normally topics on top of topics. And we never discuss ahead of time what we're going to talk about because it's up to her, right? So we just, throw out something out there and we just kind of run with it. And we give our perspectives on both ends of it. Her perspective from a event strategist or a meeting planner, and my perspective as maybe sometime a meeting planner or someone that used to work on property, right? A former general manager, former director of sales and marketing, whatever. So we look at perspectives, both perspectives. So it's kind of cool. So I appreciate her coming on today. Obviously, that meant she don't have anything to do right now if she's right here on this live. So anyway, but no, I appreciate her coming on. I'm joking, Tiffany. So anyway, real quick, 5 things hotel sales departments should be aware of when it comes to AI. Now, I've already gone through the previous 4. Okay. So in order to see those, just go back on LinkedIn. Let's just use LinkedIn. Just go back on LinkedIn, 5 days ago, go back last week, and you'll see all of them. Okay. So you can see them in order. You can watch them in order. Okay. And they're not that long. So you can go and, do that. Okay. But today's the last one because I said it's a 5-part series. It was 5 days and 5 topics. Okay. So today's the 5th day, the 5th topic, and we're going to jump into it right now. Right now. Yes. Great job. Yes. Thank you, Tiffany. Let's see. Where am I? This is 4, right? Oh, no, this is 5. What am I saying? Damn it, I just said 5 and I'm looking for 4. So, okay, day 5, topic 5. AI will never replace relationships. We talk about AI, people are saying, "Oh, AI is going to take my job. Oh my God, this is terrible. Oh my God, what am I going to do now?" Well, and I think I said this a little while ago that AI can hold people accountable now, right? Because if it's taking the busy work that you do, the emails, all that stuff that you need to organize or whatever, if it takes that away from you, meaning it's going to make it easier for you, you're not going to have to spend as much time on it. Well, that means you're going to have more time to be around clients, to entertain, to do all those things. So yeah, It's going to hold you accountable for that stuff now, right? It's because it's going to take away all the busy work that you hate doing, right? So now you're going to be able to travel more. Maybe you're going to be able to see more clients, take dinners out to lunch, or in my case, a beer and what is it? What do I like? Beer and some French fries. Okay, so that's how I require, right? So yeah, that's all you got to do. If you say, hey Russell, you want to go out? Let's we're having a client thing, or you have time for like a drink or whatever. Yeah, all I need is a beer and some French fries. Okay, that's it. Okay, that's it. And you get RFPs up the yin yang. RFPs, you don't have enough. You don't have enough time to go through the RFPs I'll send you just for a beer and some French fries. So anyway, it's an inside joke between me and Tiffany, and she knows what I'm talking about. So anyway, real quick, let's get through this. Episode 5, AI will never replace relationships. So I'm going to read this off of my phone. Okay, so hold tight. Hold tight. Over the past 4 episodes, we've discussed how AI can help hotel sales teams and DMO teams too improve response times, identify opportunities earlier, enhance marketing intelligence, and make more informed decisions. Today, I want to end the series with what may be the most important lesson of all. AI may change how we work, but it won't replace the relationships that drive hospitality, because hospitality is a relationship-driven industry, right? Hotels are still in the people business. Okay, did you know that? We're in the people business. Meeting planners, event organizers, event strategists, and clients still want to work with people they trust. Technology can open the door, but relationships are what ultimately will win the business. Okay, so it's all about the relationships. AI is not going to help you win a client over. Okay, it may make it easier for you to get out and be with the client, but it's not gonna go with you on your appointments. Okay, it's not gonna start calling people like, hey, this is AI. You need to come over here to this hotel. It cannot form relationships. So that's why it's important that, yeah, we use AI to be smart, to be more efficient, but it is not going to take the place of you going out there and still busting your hump, traveling, and building those relationships, those appointments, those one-on-one appointments. AI is not going to be sitting there doing the one-on-one appointments. Okay, you have to do that. Okay, that follow-up that I'm always talking about, you have to do that. You have to follow up. So if anything, like I said, it's going to put the responsibility back on you, because it's going to take some of that stuff away from you, but you still have to follow up. Okay, that's phone calls. If that is the emails, okay, well, it's going to help you, draft the emails quickly. I mean, I sent like 10 emails out this morning, right? And I use my little tool, my little assistant, and my assistant, boom, 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 done. Okay, and then that allows me time to, to do things like this, which I really love, and that's doing a live, right? So even technology has helped me do this, but I know I'm the one that has to come on here and deliver. Okay, this is me. I'm live. This is actually Russell. It is not an AI tool, okay, that's doing this. I mean, I know some people will do that, but no. You need the real Russell to do all this stuff. You don't need some AI bot or tool to do that. Okay. So, okay, where am I? Did I say hotels are still in the business? Hotels are still in people business. Yes. Meeting planners, event organizers, and clients still want to work with people they trust. Technology can open the door, but relationships are what ultimately will win the business. Number 1, let's get into this. People still buy from people. A meeting planner may receive multiple proposals that look similar on paper. What often separates one hotel from another is not the technology. It's the salesperson. It's the follow-up, the responsiveness, and the relationship. That's what separates one hotel from the other. It's always going to be the people. Okay, it's never going to be the technology. Never. AI can help create a proposal, but it can't replace genuine trust. Yeah, like I said, AI helps me with my proposals, but at the end of the day, I'm the one that has to go and talk to my client, or I'm the one that has to go and do the site tours, okay, and get all this information from the hotel people. I'm the one that went to the Langham. Okay, AI didn't go. Okay, AI didn't have nothing to do with that. Okay, AI knew I went because I let AI know. Okay, and AI will formulate things based on what I've done, right? Because I put everything in my little AI tool, right? And that way it remembers everything that I do. So, say a couple of years from now, if I want to come back and say, hey, what was I doing? Or who was that person I was talking to? That hotel person. Maybe I forgot, right? Who was that person I was talking to at the Langham Hotel? It'd come back and tell me, this is 2 years later, right? We're in the future now. It'd come back and tell me, oh, you've built a relationship with Angel Romero. Okay. She's the senior catering sales manager at the Langham, Pasadena. Boom. That's right. I couldn't think of her name. So there you go. It'll do stuff like that. Not that you need any help with that because you guys are all over this stuff. Number two, AI supports the conversation. It doesn't replace it. AI can help draft emails, organize information, summarize notes, and identify opportunities, but it can't replace a site visit, a phone call. Do we even make phone calls anymore? A lunch meeting, or the personal connections that are built over time. All the best sales professionals will use AI to become more efficient while spending even more time strengthening relationships. That's the best salespeople. Okay. I don't know what the regular salespeople do, but the best ones will do that. The key takeaway on this is use AI to support relationships, not replace them. That seems pretty simple to me, right? Number three, the future belongs to hotels that combine technology and hospitality. You guys know I only do three things, right? There's always like 3 points that I make. So this is number three, meaning, I'm almost done with this, right? You guys should be taking notes and all that stuff if that's what you want to do. The most successful hotels won't be the ones that rely solely on AI. They will be the hotels that combine great technology, great service, great communication, and great relationships. Technology creates efficiency, hospitality creates loyalty. Is that a mic drop moment? I'll let you determine that. When those two work together, amazing things happen. And the key takeaway for that is the winning formula is AI plus hospitality, not AI instead of hospitality. Now, that's a good one. That's kind of a mic drop moment right there. So I'll give you this key takeaway again, one more time. Listen, got to listen carefully. The winning formula is AI plus hospitality, not AI instead of hospitality. You still got to give hospitality. Okay. AI is not going to do that for you. So people like Angel Romero have nothing to worry about because when it comes to hospitality, they exude that. It's like coming out of their pores that, they're so hospitality driven. And that's what it's all about, right? And that's what I got when I walked in and I met her for the first time last week at the Langham. Had nothing to do with AI. That's what told me that AI is in trouble, right? If people are still like this, they're still focused on the client and responsive and all those kind of things. That's what you want, right? AI can help you be responsive, via the technology that you use, but at the end of the day, she's the one that showed up at the appointment, showed me the hotel, answered my questions, knew who I was, right? Because she did the research. Okay. That's what it takes. And she followed up with emails after that. That's the key, right? That's where the relationship comes in. That's who gets the business. Okay. So there you go. Can I say that anymore? In closing, where am I? As we conclude this 5-part series, remember that AI is a tool, not a replacement for what makes hospitality special. The hotels that embrace technology while continuing to invest in people, relationships, and service will be the ones that drive in the years ahead. Did I say that right? The hotels that embrace technology while continuing to invest in people, relationships, and the service will be the ones that thrive in the years ahead. I didn't even say that right, but that's what I said. Okay. And I always have a quote. AI may help open the door, but relationships are still what walk through it. You need a relationship. You can walk through with the relationship, right? AI is not going to help you do that. Okay. Instead of me reading it, it's right there. Okay. So check that out. And that's from me. Okay. So anyway, I'm open to questions. Any questions at all? So, but that's it. No, like I said, there's a 5-part series about AI in the sales department. And I thought it was important because, me being in sales, and I always think me formerly in sales on the hotel side, I'm always thinking like if I went back to property level, what would I do? What are the things that could kind of enhance what I was doing? Well, AI definitely would be one of those things, right? But can it replace people? No. But my advice to everybody is to learn as much as you can about the tools that you're using. Okay. Just like we learned about what the heck is it called? Delphi and all those kind of CRM systems that we use, right? Um, I mean, we can learn, AI, Chat GPT, all those kind of Gemini, all these things that are coming out, right? Because these are things that are coming out. If you're not using them, um, are you missing the boat if you're not using them? Yeah, I guess you are. Yeah, yeah. Because technology is going so quickly that there's tools out there that we can be using that maybe you should take a look at. I'm not telling you what to use or when to use it, right? But I'm saying that you need to educate yourself because the people that get replaced are the people that are not familiar with those particular tools. They don't know how to use them, and they're afraid of them, right? Don't be afraid of them. They're just there as tools to help you. Okay, as much as you need them, they're there. If you don't need them that much, well, then they'll be waiting for you. Okay, and do I use it every single day? Not every single day, but maybe almost several times a week. Yes, I'm using some tools because I want to make my job easy, my business, right? Because we always have things that we could be doing, or we want to run efficiently, and it helps me run more efficiently. So there you go. In fact, I was sending something. There was a list of questions that I had this morning for a hotel salesperson. They send me this RFP, or they send me a proposal after I send the RFP. And have you ever on Cvent? Okay, a lot of us use Cvent, right? A lot of meeting planners or whatever hotel site selection people. We use Cvent as a tool. It's a platform that we use to formulate RFPs, and we can send it out to our hotel or CVB partners, right? Like I can do one RFP and send out like 10 and like at the same time, right? So I had some questions for this one particular sales manager because when they send the proposals through Cvent, how can I say this? It can be all over the place. Like these are the taxes. This is the whatever. This is the charge for this. It can be all kind of these all kind of fees, right? And taxes and resort fees and all this service charge and all that stuff. I'm like, give me the price. Can you give me the price of a room? The rate was 209, right? Okay, I understand. The rate is 209 a night, right? I got like 40 people, 40 rooms. Give me the price for what it would cost per person, okay, for that guest room. Because all these things, and I want to make sure that when we go to contract, is that this is the price that my client's going to be paying. Because all these different things, I'm like, are they charging this? Are they charging that? I mean, what is this? What is that? Is this applied? Does it not apply? I mean, give me what is the price? What is the price for the room? 209 plus what equals what? So if it's 200, if the rate is 209 and with taxes and everything is 239, that's fine. But that's what I need to know, right? Because they'll throw all these things out there. And I don't know if they purposely do it or Cvent just basically throws out the information there, right? But I want to make sure that what my number is aligns with what I see in Cvent. Okay. So I just need some consistency. And then as far as, because there's 2 meals they're going to have as well. The same thing, the taxes, the service charge or gratuity, is it one and the same or is it 2 separate things? Because they, like I said, they'll throw everything out there. And I don't know if they do that sometimes to confuse people. I don't know, but and I had AI. The reason why I said all this, I had AI, can you do this? Boom. it just gave me like almost a spreadsheet. Boom, send that thing out. I'm still waiting for a response, but it was easy to do. I did it in like I typed it. Maybe it took me as I'm trying to figure things out. What I need to put on this thing. It'll think for me, right? Because I've done this before, right? Can you create this? And it's all about the prompts, right? What is the prompt? And if it doesn't do exactly what you wanted, then you do another prompt. Can you add this? Can you add that? Boom, 5 seconds, done. Send it. I'm doing something else. I'm eating. I had to eat my pancakes this morning, right? So some things are more important than doing all this email stuff. Let me see. Do I have a comment here? Victor Simmons, Russ, who manages the Langham these days? Great property when I visited 20 years ago. You know what, Victor? That's funny you should say 20 years because it had been 20 years since I've been there. Okay. That's a good question. I don't know who manages it. I can find out for you, but no, I don't know who manages the Langham. I just know the young lady that was my sales contact. She'd been there for 19 years. Okay. And she said she left and it just didn't make sense. She'd been there so long that she left and went to another hotel. She came back within like 9 months back to the Langham because if you've been there that long, that's more family than anything, right? She kind of grew up there, right? So she ended up going back, and I'm like, hey, we all have reasons why we leave, but it's very rare that we're able to come back and experience and take and pick up where we left off, right? So I applaud her for identifying that was not the good move for her to do, to leave and go to another property. She was able to come back. They actually held her position, okay, and she came back. I'm like, that's the greatest story I've ever heard, right? So it doesn't always work out, right? And it's good that you can always go home. And that was a situation where there's no other way I could put that. She was able to go back home. She had spent 18 years there, right? And sometimes we think the grass is greener on the other side, and a lot of times it's not. And I shared my experience with her too. I said, I've been to 14 different hotels. Okay. I worked in 14 different hotels. She's like, oh my God, that's crazy. I'm like, yeah, it is. But I left because I knew that in order for me to make more money, I would have to do more moves. I would have to leave and go to other hotels. Well, that's when I kind of learned, money is not everything, right? That shouldn't be a motivating factor because the experience I had, not all the experiences that I had, all 14 hotels were great experiences. You're dealing with, different management companies, ownership groups. Although those things were challenges and those are things that I learned from. And of course, now I have them in my bag, right? But some of those moves I probably should not have made, and I didn't ask the right questions in the interview process. I was listening to Victor. If you guys don't know Victor Simmons, you need to follow him. He does a podcast, and he was interviewing someone yesterday, and she made a comment that she left one hotel to go to another one, and she said had she done a little bit more research, she would not have taken that job. And when she said that, that resonated with me. In fact, my last job that I had, and I ain't afraid to say it, the Sheraton Universal, I never should have taken that job. I never should have taken that job. I didn't ask the right questions during the interview. Okay. I should have asked, more questions about budgets and, were you able to achieve those budgets? What happened to the previous director of sales and marketing that was there before me? Those questions, and if they don't answer the questions or they fumble with how to answer those questions, that means that's a red flag. Don't even go there, right? And I didn't get it until I got in the weeds, right? And I got in the weeds immediately. I'm like, this place is, well, I'm not gonna say it on this thing, but this place is not good. And the management, the general manager, the HR were basically one, which that should never be that. And Victor can attest to that, right? And that's why I always ask that question, Victor, because my last experience was basically you got HR and the general manager kind of like, HR is afraid of the general manager. when the HR should be a standalone position. At least that's how I envision an HR. Good HR person is a standalone person, but they get along with everybody. They're able to communicate. This is the better, the good of the hotel, or the good of that person, or the good of that department. I mean, that's how it should be, right? But no, it shouldn't be like, oh, I'm the general manager, and HR, you need to say what you need to do what I say. No, like Victor said, red flag. Yes. So yeah. So man, like I said, had I done my homework, had I asked probably 2 more questions, but this is the thing. This is what I got. This is how I got caught up on this hotel. I was gonna work there regardless, right? I used to drive by this hotel every day because it's set on the top of a hill, right? I would drive past that hotel on my way to the hotel that I was currently working in. And I would always say, I'm going to work at that hotel one day. Every time I drove by, I would say, I'm in the car by myself. I'm going to work at that hotel. That's my dream hotel, right? Well, you kind of manifest some things, but it was the wrong manifestation. I shouldn't have been manifesting it. Well, no, I shouldn't have. I should have asked the right questions. That's what it comes down to. That's what it came down to. So like I said, I drove by that hotel for, I think I was at that one hotel for like 3 years. And 3 years, I would drive by there and I would say, I'm going to work at that hotel. That's my next hotel. And it was my next hotel, but I didn't ask the right questions. So there you go. So that's my story. That's a little bit of my story. I don't know how I got into that. I see a comment from Miss Tiffany. We still need to follow up and check AI for accuracy. I use AI to add an event to my calendar and it didn't convert it to my time zone. Okay. What did you put in the prompt? Did you put what the time zone would be? The correct time zone? Does it do that? That's a good question. I've never done that where, did it convert to my time zone? So maybe we'll have a conversation offline before we go online and talk about it, because that's a good one. That's a good one. I'm sure other people may have that challenge as well. So yeah, so this is good. See, that's what it's all about. It's all about conversation. It's all about community, and that's one thing that I love. Thank you, Victor, for coming on. I appreciate that. Tiffany as well. Thank you for coming on as well. Thank you, Top Floor Pod. Not sure who you are, but I welcome you to make comments, and I welcome you to always come on. I do this show Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. This is the daily check-in with Russell of Hotels. And I also do a show called On Air with Russell of Hotels, which is that live hospitality talk show everyone's talking about. I've done 348 shows of that one. That one's every Tuesday at 1:00 PST. That's California time, right? I'm in Los Angeles, okay? Tiffany's in Chicago. So we do this show on Mondays. We do the daily check-in on Monday. She's in Chicago. I'm here, but she travels quite a bit. She's always here and there. And then Mr. Simmons is in Florida. So yeah, so I always want to know what the reach is, right? I'm good that people will like and make comments or whatever. I mean, comments are great. I love the comments. Okay, it's all about engagement. But to me, I'm more interested in the reach. Like, who am I reaching, or what cities or destinations are you reaching? Is it outside of the country? Like Paula C is in Brazil, right? We first collaborated several years ago. Never met Paula C before in my life. Okay. But we've been collaborating probably 5 times, and we're going to do another collaboration in another week or so. So that's the thing. That's the power of utilizing like a LinkedIn. And to me, LinkedIn is a valuable business development tool. I don't use it like social media. Okay. People like Facebook and all that. No, LinkedIn, business to business for the most part, right? So, and to me, like I said, it's one of the most valuable business development tools I've ever used. And I mean, I'm not saying this because LinkedIn pays me, because damn it, they don't. But hey, is there a sponsorship opportunity, LinkedIn? Can you help a brother out? I don't know. But but yeah, so I use it for a business development. That's it. And I told someone this the other day, someone, who was that? Corey Falter. If you guys don't know Corey Falter, make sure you follow him as well. And I met him for the first time. Never met him before in person. Okay, was always a LinkedIn connection, and I met him at a HSMAI event. Maybe was that last week or 2 weeks ago? And I told him, I said, I was talking about LinkedIn and how it's good to finally meet him in person. And I told him, I said, LinkedIn is a valuable, just like what I just said to you guys. LinkedIn is a very valuable business development tool. I said, if there was no LinkedIn, there would be no Russell of Hotels, because I'm able to reach people. And that's why I said the reach is more important to me. Because years ago, and you guys don't know this, no one knows this, because some people may know. I was on worked on this app, right, with this group of people. Victor knows about it because Victor introduced me to the people. And one of the first hotels that we contacted, or I contacted, and we ended up setting up a demo with them, was the Hilton in, what was it called? Charles de Gaulle in London. Is that where London? Yeah, in London. No, that's Heathrow. In Paris, Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris. Okay, that was the first hotel that we signed up to do the app that we were doing. It was a travel related app, and it was only because of LinkedIn. Okay, because I didn't have any emails, I didn't have anything. So what I did was use LinkedIn, the little search toolbar, hotels in France or whatever, Hilton hotels in France, and that came up, and it gave me the names of people that were affiliated with that. It found the director of marketing, the general manager, and started sending correspondence to them via LinkedIn. And I finally got a bite, right? And that ended up helping us out, this app that we had worked on for, I don't know, a couple of years or whatever it was, a year or so. And it helped me that was the first hotel that we actually signed up on this app, which was called Smart Layover. Smart Layover was the name of the app. And I was on the ground floor of that. And it ended up going nowhere, not because it wasn't a good tool, because even to this day, it's a good tool, because the person that owned it, he went another direction. He took his ball and went to play in another court. So there you go. I mean, those things happen, I guess. I'm working on an app now. I can't tell anybody about it now, but I'm working on an app now that it's in the hospitality as well. It's not hotels, but it's in hospitality. And later, as we get close to getting it out there, I will let more people know about it. So there you go. There you go. Let's see. Anything else? Any comments anywhere else? I see no comments, and that went a little longer than I thought it was going to go. But it's all about, it's all about community, all about conversation. I appreciate the people coming on. I really do, because it's all about engagement as well, right? And I'm here to engage as much as people want to engage. So without anything else, if you have nothing else, I think I will call this a day. And I'm going to call you Miss Tiffany and see what you're talking about regarding this AI thing. And Victor, we need to catch up too, Victor. I mean, although him and I saw him last week. Great event, book signing, Victor Simmons, the Lee F. Simmons story. If you don't know about it, you need to know. Okay, just Google the Lee F. Simmons story. Okay, just do that. Just Google that. Buy the book. It's available everywhere that books are sold. Okay, so check it out. That's Victor's father. A lot of history there. First African American steward on Air Force One. We know what Air Force One is, right? That's the presidential plane. Presidents fly all over the world in that plane. And he worked under 5 presidents. First African American to do that. Okay, just imagine all the stuff that you would have to go through as a black man, being from the South. Okay, man, just an amazing story about resilience, about dedication, perseverance, leadership, all that stuff. And so Victor wrote a book um, in memory and honor of his dad. So I mean, a great book. In fact, Victor, you held a book for me, right? You did hold a book for me. Yeah. So I gotta make sure I know. I'm gonna get the book myself. It's funny. I was at the book signing and I forgot to get my own book. I'm at the book signing and I forgot to get the book. But anyway, I'm gonna get it. So I already have book. I have 2 year other books, Victor. Did you know that? You gave me a paperback. I bought a hard copy, but you didn't sign the hard copy. So I need you to sign my hard copy. Okay. So anyway, that is it. That's enough for now. So anyway, once again, Russell of Hotels. This was the daily check-in with Russell of Hotels. I also do a show called the on air with Russell of Hotels. So just go to LinkedIn, YouTube, or Facebook, and you'll be able to find anything that I put out there. Right. I'm on Instagram as well, but I'm only doing this for the live portion. I sometimes do cut up some of the longer form videos and put them on Instagram. But for the most part, if you want to get something in its entirety, one of these shows, go to LinkedIn, YouTube, or Facebook. Okay. There you go. That is it. Have a great day. Happy Thursday. And we'll see you tomorrow because tomorrow's Friday and we'll be doing another daily check in with Russell of Hotels. Until then,